What's up, people? Give me a little headphone juice.
Which one are you?
I don't
Here
know.
we go.
One of them. Yeah.
Whichever one you choose.
Yeah. I can't hear anything. Can't hear myself. I need to hear myself yell at myself. That's me. Yeah. Okay, right there. Oh, too much. A little less. A little bit less. Right there.
1, 2. My level good?
He put me exactly where I was before. Is that what he did?
Probably.
All right, people. No, that's too much. A little less. Just a smidge less. Just a tiny bit less. Okay.
Now we're back to it.
Oh boy. So what's going on, people? It's a Friday again. The weeks of my life go by like a laser beam.
Quickly.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, what's going on, people? Anything exciting? Anything exciting in your life, Chris?
Exciting? No, not today.
You want to hear the really good
Oh,
news?
Honey Baked Ham was today. That's exciting.
You want to hear the great news for me?
What's that?
I get to buy another drain field. So we get to
At
dig
your old
another.
house?
Oh, not the new house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm like, this house is 3 years old. I don't need to get a septic tank inspection. Come on. Well, I hear this gurgling in the room the other day, and the freaking house smells like poo.
Mm.
And so I'm like, it probably just needs pumped. The last people probably just shoved all kinds of paper and crap down in there.
All right.
And so the guy comes. He's like, oh boy, Harbor Hills. As soon as we see that name, we know you're screwed. As soon as we get that first call, that means that your drain field is toast. And the reason for it is because there's a bunch of clay. You have to go on Inside the Hex. I'm shooting a video today vlog today of my new gimbal, trying to keep it from being all shaky hand, because Sony has terrible stabilization, like all Sonys do. And it's gonna cost me a lot of money. You got to bring in truckloads of fill dirt and all that stuff. You get to rip apart the entire, and it's the whole entire front yard, like the only front yard. Yeah, welcome to my wonderful life of poop.
Home ownership. Wonderful thing. Let's see. Here.
Michelle's like, man, we need to live in a city. That city, we need the sewer. So yeah, that's good news. Good news for my wallet. Yay.
We'll just sell some more shirts.
The positive thing, though, is that the water heater relocation was a lot less money. It was only a couple $1,000 to like completely reroute the whole house, and like reroute all the stuff and then put in a new tankless gas heater. It's freaking cool. So anyway, that's the story.
Excellent. All right, one comment here on your poop tales from our buddy Martin, Alligator Window Tint. The septic guy,
Yeah.
that was just your house, Dusty's my best friend. He is as OG spec as a septic person can be.
Yeah.
So-
Well, the bad news is he knows what he's doing, so he's like, "Yep, you're screwed." Everything he said, he's like, "Well, as soon as I pump this out, you'll see the water will be rushing back into it from the drain field." Sure enough, it was a gosh darn geyser.
Mm.
Oh boy.
You got a poop geyser in your front yard now. The normie life fits you.
Yeah.
Fits you
Yep.
well. All right. We got a super chat here already. Nice. So I'm going to come to that in just a second here. No, let's do that first. Professional procrastinator. You might remember last week he asked you about a scale.
Uh-huh.
A little commission. So he's got $19.99 for you here.
Okay.
A little commission on the Withings scale you recommended last week.
Yeah.
The thing is, all caps, legit.
Yeah.
It's sturdy, sleek, and was packaged well. Makes me think of Apple if they made a scale. So thanks,
Yeah,
Mike.
it's pretty good. They have a bunch of other things you can get too, like they have like a blood pressure cuff and stuff like that. It's kind of cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Andy here, before we got started, had a question here in the chat. He says he ran out of time putting coating on his wife's Cayenne and only got one coat of EXO on top of CSL about a month ago.
Yeah.
Can I apply a second coat of EXO this much later?
Yeah. EXO you can usually. As long as it's not super contaminated, which it shouldn't be. So yeah, you just got to do a good cleanup, and I wouldn't wipe it with erase or anything. Just clean it with the like Atom soap or GSF, or actually what would probably be best if you use Decon soap. Just use Decon soap, spray it off real good, dry it off. Don't use a drying aid, and then put another coat on. Is what I would do.
Yeah, that's what he said here at the end. Of course, I will wash in Decon before.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Or a Carpo Reset if you had some of that or something. One of those type of soaps would be a good move.
All right, let's see. Matthew Stevens says, "Hey Matt, what are your recommended starter Milwaukee tools to begin building a tool collection for automotive use?"
Yeah, automotive. You want the mid torque impact. You want I want the 1/4-inch long neck, whatever you call it, ratchet. I think you want a I think it's not really automotive specific, but I think you want a 1/4-inch surge, and then I think it's a 1/4-inch, but you want the M12. So the M12 surge 1/4-inch hex, impact, and you want the.
Oh, lost video there.
Uh-oh. And you want the. Do we still have audio? Yeah, we lost video for that for a second.
What's going on?
And then what's the other one? You got me all flustered.
Vacuum cleaner. That's what you want.
No. You want the drill. Yeah, the drill thing. The regular drill. Those would be the 4 that you would start with, and then you get some of the stubbies, and then they have new high-speed ratchets that are coming out, and then you get the right angle impact tools. But the 4 you start with is mid-torque, 1/4-inch ratchet. Long neck, the long reach ratchet with a little neoprene cover for it, and then the 2 others I just said, which I already forgot.
All right.
Yeah, the combo, the M12 combo, the hex and the hex impact and the drill.
All right, so there you go.
But I will have all these packages out really soon. It'll be called Basic, Advanced, and Ultimate, and then there'll be a Master Collection. As soon as Bryce gets those done, which is a huge undertaking. And then I'm deep into accessories. We have like a 12-inch by a 12-inch area of counter space open right now because I have blades, Sawzall blades, and bunch of other crap, grinder wheels, and all kinds of cool stuff.
All right, let's see. Oh, we got people checking in from Bangkok, Thailand at 2 a.m.
Ooh,
that's pretty cool. Go back to bed, dude. Let's see. Hey. Jokin says, exciting, he changed his brake pads this week for the first time ever as a beginner. So, nice job.
That's not too difficult. Hope he didn't top off his brake fluid before doing the pads and shoot it all out over the motor like a lot of people have done before. But yeah, pads are usually pretty easy to do.
All right, Addison wants to know, when the Press-All bottles are back in stock, are the labels going to be able to be bought separately?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll be able to buy labels in any which way possible. Once we finally get one that we're really close. Got the first batch that was water soluble, and now we're getting unwater soluble labels. Should have them soon.
All right. Hammond wants to know, hey, Matt, what's your go-to product for water spot removal?
A polisher. Yeah. And water spot removal is a fickle thing. If it's sitting on top of the coating, usually you can do something like McGuire's Wheel Acid or try one. I've never had any of those water spot removers work. The CarPro or Kamikaze or IGL or any of them. Threw them all in the trash because none of them freaking work. A MDR or whatever it's called from Optimum, none of those do squat. So it just depends. You try polishing them, and if that doesn't do it, then you got to heat it and then polish it, and it's a freaking nightmare. I hate water spots.
All right, Brandon wants to know, did you see the Savage Geese recap of your E92 M3 yet?
Yep. Yeah, I love it. So good. Go check that out if you haven't watched it.
They seem split on the car, but of course it's all subjective. So, yeah.
Well, Mark had one for some time, and it was a problem machine. And so, he's right. I mean, they're both right about all the things they're saying, Has a rubber band, feels like a wet noodle shift linkage. But the things that make the car crappy may also make it great. I'm gonna keep it, I think.
All right, here's a good question for you. I know you discussed this with the Porsche dealer guys. What's your opinion on the paint color chalk?
Yeah, it's a little too beige for my liking. I would like it to be more gray. So in the sunlight, it's got a very beige, brown hue to it that I don't love, but it's a cool color. I would want something a little grayer than that, so I would never choose that color.
Let's see. Ken wants to know, where did you get that funnel that you used in the E92 oil change video?
I don't know. I think I got it from ECS.
That giant blue thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what it's called. But also somebody sent me a link. Hazette makes a version of it too, as well. Yeah, it's got a very specific gasketed lock-on mechanism that locks on to the whatever, the port or wherever you dump the stuff into, the funnel hole, and then locks on and seals because there's a little rubber O-ring there that seals up, and it's pretty cool. Somebody sent that to me a while back when I did a BMW video. I bought it immediately. If it wasn't cheap, it was like $50 or $60 or something like that. But it has like an anodized aluminum interface, and it's pretty neat. I'm sure someone can link it for us. I'm sure they know.
All right, let's see. Robert wants to know, who do you use for your online retail provider? Considering starting an online business, would love any recommendations.
Yeah, Shopify. I would highly recommend Shopify for sure.
Make it pretty easy.
Yeah, and then you start with a basic plan for, what is it, like $39 a month, $29 a month or something. And then once you start to do some credit card processing and start to sell some stuff, then it starts to make sense to do the bigger plans. But I think ours is now what is it, like $1,200 or $1,300 a month or something
with all the apps and add-ons. About $1,300 a month.
Yeah, which is still insanely inexpensive. I mean, for what we're getting on the platform, it never crashes. When was the last time the thing went down? I mean, 12 months ago for a few minutes, and we didn't do anything. They just fix it. It's great. Yeah. So whereas in the beginning I had my own site, it was a gosh darn nightmare. Trying to call the dude, and then he doesn't know what to do. And at one point, the guy who made it just said, "I don't know," and he just never called me back.
I'm out.
Yeah. So then Brad talked us into move the whole site over to Shopify, because I'd started the Shopify store, and then I had my own site. So the website is linked back to the store, and why not just run the whole site on the store? It works great.
All right, we got a super chat here from Andrew G. I wonder if this is Andrew G in our warehouse out there. Let's see. I'm building a 30 by 50 shop, probably not the same guy then, and want to get Matt's opinion on an OG spec sound system. I would like in-ceiling speakers. What products do you recommend? It's a big shop.
Yeah, I would prefer, you can do in ceilings, but I would prefer to do on wall. Even like outdoor speakers will tend to sound a little bit better, but there's a lot of good companies. Speakercraft makes some great, in-ceiling speakers. I mean, Dyne Audio, Sonus Faber. I mean, there's a lot of companies. Polk Audio. You could do just stay away from the Niles Audio, like the cheaper stuff, like the stuff that's designed for just background music in large venues. So if you get yourself good sets of speakers and you set them up somewhat symmetrically, you're going to want a subwoofer in there as well. But I think I think if I were doing a shop that size, I would probably want a set of bookshelves or floor standings as my front, and then fill with some in-ceiling speakers as well. But someday we're going to be selling audio for the garage. I'm going to get there at some point here soon. Is that the funnel?
Yeah, somebody chimed in the chat here. They said it's made by AS Tools, Assenmacher Specialty Tools Incorporated.
Well, that one's red.
Yeah, different colors, different sizes. Is it specific
to
it
is
the
AST.
vehicle?
That is right. Yep. Yeah, and I think it's a BMW. The one I have has a BMW specific locking.
Yeah, this one is for. There's a black one
for Audi. Yeah.
Check that out. All right, let's see. Had another super chat pop up here from Spencer, our friend down in the Dakotas. Matt, I'm looking into getting window tint and PPF. I found a company called Expel that seems promising. What's your opinion on what you've heard?
You found a company that uses Expel, or you just discovered Expel? I think he's messing with me. Yeah, I mean, I think all the major guys are decent. Suntech, Expel, and then S-Tech is the new guy on the block. 3M has kind of gotten left behind a little bit in clarity and quality. Their adhesive isn't as good as Expel, but I think you find that Expel is quickly developing a monopoly in that game because they have the best software. They have the best software that the installers use for cutting. And they've kind of cornered it to where in the beginning, guys were buying Expel software and then using it to cut all their Suntech film or 3M film, and they kind of got wise to that and say, hey, this is our intellectual property, and you're going to pay through the nose if you're not using the Expel stuff. And so they started doing it by the cut. and so they've changed the platform quite a few times. But Expel has the best templates, and the Expel film is good. I mean, that's what I have on the hood of the Civic. It's fine. I think SunTech has a little bit better clarity to it, a little less orange peel, and then S-Tech is not quite as thick as those others, and Expel has several different versions. They have like a really heavy, thick film. If you're doing track stuff and you're most concerned about how it protects versus how it looks, they have that option. But yeah, I mean, all the big threes, SunTech Ultimate, Expels, whatever they call their version now, and then S-Tech Dyna Shield. My favorite is S-Tech Dyna Shield because it looks the clearest and the orange peely-ish the most, has the least amount of orange peel.
All right, Rick has a question for you. He says, "Good afternoon, Matt and Chris. Matt has mentioned the Panasonic bathroom fan.
Ooh, yeah. I just ordered one last night.
Which model is OG preferred?" So is that the one?
So I'm not 100% sure yet. I just took a flyer on one, but it's a FV0511 FK2, I think. I think that's what it is. FV-0511 MK2, I believe. And the thing I learned about is it has modules. And so it's something close to that model number. But I ordered the 50, 80, 110 CFM version. And so it has, it comes with, if you order the one that comes with the variable speeds, it comes with the variable speed module. And then you put in other modules, like for instance, it has humidity sensor that you can plug into it. And so if you're taking a shower and it starts to get humid, then it'll ramp from 50 to, or whatever you set it at, say from 50 to 110. You also have a motion sensor module where you can program it or just turn the switches to where if someone walks in the room within 20 seconds, it kicks on, it kicks on immediately and it runs for 20 minutes. But from what I understand, they're so quiet that you can't even tell they're on. And so the concept here is that they're really designed to bring in fresh air, to expel air, and then you then can bring in fresh air, and you have air cycling through an airtight house. So the other thing that motivated me to go is that with my dehumidifiers, that the house is cool, it's the right temperature, but it's not super comfortable. And so I think a relative humidity is somewhere in the mid-50s, and that's a little bit too high for the house. I think it should be in the high 40s, from what I understand, and maybe even a little bit lower than that. And so I just called them and said, look, I want to do the fresh air dehumidifier, so it's bring in fresh air because my attic will be all sealed up here in the next few weeks. We'll condition the attic, and then we'll dehumidify the whole system. And so the Panasonic fans will be a large component of that. And then they also have one where you can get the LED light on it and stuff like that. So I'm going to make a video on it once I we'll figure it out together. And then I'm going to put one. There's two in the master, two places I can put fans in the master that are already there, and then each bathroom, and that should take care of the whole house. And I think what you do with most of them, you just leave them running at 50 CFM all the time, just all day, every day. I think they're so quiet that you don't even hear them.
All right.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think they're like whisper quiet. That's the name of them. So yeah, I'm excited to. I don't even know where I heard about that.
My house is at 55% humidity.
Oh, you got a jungle at your house.
Yeah,
right?
see, that's kind of sticky.
Greg says, when will we see a wash and talk on the Raptor?
Ugh, probably never.
Never. You giving up on the Raptor?
Someday, I don't know. Once I get the garage set up, then I'm going to be more focused on keeping the cars clean.
All right, related to that, someone on here asked about, do you have any suggestions when it comes to that space between the back of the truck and the bed of the truck, washing down there?
Oh, shoot, yeah, that's a pain in the butt. I mean, you just kind of let it go. Yeah, reach your hand as far as you can in there, on the side, and that's about all that I do. Because, I mean, sure you could build some sort of contraption to get in there, but it's one of those things that out of sight, out of mind.
All right, let's see. Any updates? A bunch of people talking about yarn here in the chat. Any updates on the yarn building next
Some
time?
guy made a comment on the last video. It was the greatest comment in the history of comments was, do yarn elsewhere. I thought it was so fantastic. I was laughing. Even Michelle busted out laughing when I showed her that. So kudos to the gentleman who made that. In quotes, he put it. Just do yarn elsewhere. Yeah. Oh man, I was laughing my face off. It's so good.
All right, let's see here. Greg also wants us to bring back the janky shirts. No, I think those are one and done.
I didn't really like that. Yeah.
Any update on the entry-level pressure washer?
No.
Any traction there? No.
I've been all into Milwaukee and Civic. I got to get taking those motor mounts out. I can't handle it.
I told you, man, it's bad.
It's so bad.
It
Yeah.
ruins the car. If it didn't have
It's
it,
great when you're driving. It's fine. You know, when you're driving like 60 miles an hour, it's great. But when you're idling, it's just so
the
bad.
steering wheel vibrates up and down.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
bad.
too much.
And it needs an ITR steering rack.
Yeah. Well, I'm not getting that.
All right, Andrew wants to know, do we have an update on the Nerd 3? Have you driven it lately? Is Michelle taking it over?
Yeah, Michelle's been driving like crazy, and of course it's always out of charge. Like, just plug the thing in, lady, because I haven't put the 45 or the 60 amp charger in yet. And so, it takes a day to charge like 100 miles, 24 hours. But the wheels should be here in a few weeks. The brakes are already here. I think the shocks, they're coming from Canada. They should be here today or Monday or Tuesday, something like that. So the suspension will be ready to go. And so I'm going to start working on it. I'll probably wait till the Civic's done, and then I'll start working on it. So it'll be a few weeks, 3-4 weeks.
All right, WJ Krug here has a good question. He says, what are some basic things you would suggest adding to an attached garage in a new construction home? Is there anything you would ask the builder to include that we might not think of?
I mean, make sure you insulate the garage like you're insulating the house. Do an insulated garage door, which doesn't cost all that much more. Make sure that you get some outlets in there. Don't have them put one outlet in the back center wall. Don't let them put the freaking electrical panel right smack in the middle of the back wall where you're going to put your cabinets and stuff like that. Look into doing jackshaft operators for sure. Don't do regular traditional operators. Jackshaft, just so have them pre-wire for that up above the garage door. Little things like that are super useful. If you're planning to put a on-wall pressure washer, or you want to do your hose bib somewhere around the garage, make sure they don't put it at 18-inch height like they normally do. Put it at, what's ours at 48, I think, or 46, something like that.
Yeah, 40 something.
Yeah. So put it up higher so you can do a bucket filler.
All right, let's see. We have a few questions. Marcine on Facebook, then a couple people on Instagram, and also in the chat here wanting to know, when's the next update on the garage at the new house coming? They want to know what the deal is.
They're going to get the water heater out of there. I'm not really going to film that. They'll have an update on Inside the Hex today, or Saturday morning. Once I get the video edited and up, there'll be a whole house update. Man, I can't believe how much I've done even after the last video. It's pretty incredible. So go become a Hex member. It costs you $8 a month or $60 a year to go and sign up for that. But and that'll get you some entries to win the Civic too. So you should probably do that.
All right, Dan on Facebook wants to know. He says, I'm liking the new house. Congrats. Any plans for an awning or carport or overhead?
No, there's not really any room for that. It's a little too tight. Luckily, the way the sun exposure is, there's plenty of time where you can wash. And actually, it's set up pretty well to wash at night. And so when we do our Cree lighting design, which my buddy from Cree came over, so Chris came over and kind of got me set straight, and we're going to figure out how to have a supplemental flood light, so I can light the whole driveway for when I'm washing. So we're going to figure that out as well.
All right, let's see. Mark wants to know on Facebook, and I think we have a small update here. How is the Ego stubby nozzle coming along? Will it be in the store soon?
Yeah, I think so. We got all of our agreements at least drawn up. David's having his attorney take a look at it, and then they've made some slight modifications to it a little bit, to the design, the mold. So I would say summertime, late spring, early summer. We should have them.
All right, let's see here. Peter says, if you sold OG, Matt, what would your next pursuit be?
Yeah, sitting on the couch. Maybe something in home theater. Something with electronics. I'd probably get into something like that. would be cool.
All right. EC has a question here from Facebook. This kind of relates to that truck question earlier. How would you go about cleaning areas that the wash pad doesn't get into? For example, the seam of the side body molding on the Civic where it mates to the panel. I've seen people use soft brushes during the foaming stage, but I would think to use a brush after the initial wash.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, maybe because we're in Florida, I don't find those areas to get too terribly dirty. You know, it's like scrubbing and coating your fender wells. It's like, you know, you have to draw the line somewhere because you drive right out of the parking lot and it's destroyed, and just as dirty as it was the minute you cleaned it, or the before you cleaned it. So I don't know. I haven't found many spots where I need anything particular. Usually the pressure washer will kind of spray those areas out, and it just tends to stay clean. The other thing that helps is when you blow it out with the Ego, it tends to blow those areas out pretty well.
Lots of fan talk here in the chat. This is good.
You're interested in this idea, this
yeah,
concept?
well, only because last night I was cleaning one of mine because it was ugly and dirty, and it's 18 years old. David J. Warrigo, our buddy in Alabama, says, I bought 2 Panasonic exhaust fans about a year ago from Lowe's.
Mm-hmm.
They're super quiet, although the one that gets used the most has gotten a little louder over time.
Mm-hmm.
And then Noble, poor Noble here, I would be interested in that fan video since my house has no vent in one of the bathrooms. That's not good. That could cause some problems there.
Get their air out of there.
Yeah, you got to keep the air going.
So, again, I think in general, you just let them run all the time. Yeah, that's it.
Something like that.
See, FK0511 VKL2. The L2, the 2 part means there's an L1 and L2. The L2 comes with a variable speed option, which doesn't do you any good unless you have some sensing, because you're just going to have the switch. You're going to turn the switch on, or what you may have to do is get rid of the switch and just and hardwire it. But you don't want to work with whatever wiring's there.
All right, let's see. Ryan says, hey, Matt, I have a black Ram 1500 with some scratches and swirls. No experience with polishing, but do you have suggestions for products and equipment for a beginner? Thanks for a great channel. Lives in New York.
Well, one of the key starts to your process would be decon, right? So you're going to want some sort of heavy-duty soap like our decon soap. Then you're going to want to. The other thing you could do is just throw some all-purpose cleaner in with your Adams shampoo or your GSF or something like that. So you want to increase the alkalinity of it to try to strip off as much as you can, and then you're going to want to iron remove it. So use an iron removing solution like Optimum Ferrex that we have in the store, and then followed by doing a full auto scrub cleaning. You get away with just the sponge and soap if you wanted to, but I like to use Nanoskin Glide. It's cheap enough. And then after that, then you're going to want to tape off, trim. So you could use masking tape or painter's tape, or you can get some of our fancy tape if you wanted to do that, the 3M Precision stuff. And then from there, then you have to get a polisher. Doing it by hand isn't really going to do you any good. So you're going to need to get a polisher. And that's where the money starts to come in, because you need polishes, which are expensive, and you need polishers, which are expensive. It costs a lot of money. But those things that they have increased rates of return the more time you use them. Obviously, the first car you do is you could have paid someone to do it for a lot less. But you need a Rupes LHR. I think you need to just get the LHR 15 Mark III, and you could do 95% of the truck with that, and then some other day maybe get a 3-inch and then get a 1-inch. But start with, you could just do a 1-step with Jescar correction compound and a microfiber cutting pad, and it'll look way better, and then coat it or wax it from there. But start with, you're going to want our polishing package is what you really want to get. But that's, what is it, like $600 or $700 or something like that, without a polisher.
All right, let's see. Ken here has a suggestion for cleaning between the cab and the bed of a truck. Wrap a meter stick with a bunch of microfiber towels secured by Velcro straps on the inside. So there you go. There's one way to do it. What type of Wander brush would you recommend for people with taller trucks and bed covers to wash with?
Yeah, that's where there's really only one option, and that's to do them in Credipole from Microfiber Madness. They have it at Sky's the Limit, Car Care, or CarPro USA. CarPro-USA.com is Corey has those in stock. But that's what you want. It's a microfiber Madison credit pad, and then in buckets to dunk it in and out of to keep it, keep using it. But that's what you want to do.
All right, there was some discussion here in the chat as well as comments on the YouTube video about your, you have your Tesla nerds, your Honda bros, and so BMW. You asked for suggestions, and so I wanted to tell you what they came up with.
Okay.
Here. See if you like any of these.
Yeah.
So BMW Brats.
Okay. You thought maybe that was brats.
Yeah, it could be brats. You never know. BMW Boys.
Yeah.
BMW Bros. When the Civic is gone, then you can use that.
Yeah.
BMW Babies. You like that? BMW Brochachos.
I don't know what that means, but all right.
BMW Buds. BMW Buddies.
No, don't like that.
Those went the alliteration
I was
route.
thinking BMW douches, but...
Well, BMW Dudes. BMW Fellas.
Yeah.
And then one guy from New York / Connecticut area said they call them up there Beamer Bros.
I don't like that.
And then one guy from the UK said over there they call them Beamer Boys.
I don't like to use the term Beamer at all.
Like Beamer?
No. Nope.
So the search continues.
Yeah. My ears are sweating. Yeah. We'll have to come up with something. I had come up with something really good, and I totally forgot what it was.
All right. Quick Civic question here from Paul. I recall you saying you wanted a wingless trunk for your Honda.
Yeah.
You can still get a wingless one brand new from Honda. All you have to do is paint it. Was there a reason you stayed with the current trunk setup?
I don't think it's quite that simple. You can go on all these sites and they say they have it, but I don't think they have it. But and then painting it, I don't really want to do that. But I could have, if I had hung around a little longer with the car, then there's a million more things we could do. So yeah.
All right, let's see here. This is a good question from Champagne Chugger, our buddy. Hi guys, does Matt have any suggestions on how to use tool grid to secure Milwaukee drills, etc., standing up to save space in a deep drawer rather than lying them flat?
Yeah, not yet, but we should have that soon. And I've got to figure it out. But they have a bunch of prototype different clamps and tools and things like that. Clamps and accessories for the bigger tools that they're working on. They have some prototypes on. So, yeah, we should have that within a year so that we can stand them up or lay them down. I want that too. Be kind of cool to have tool grid even on a shelf where the tool stands up with a battery, but it snaps into its place and stays in place. I want that. More than I can explain.
All right, let's see. Mark Klein here in the chat, our buddy from Tennessee, says, "Hey, Matt, I ordered a Sprinter lift from you.
Sweet.
I haven't gotten it yet, but wondering if you have used the foam pads included on the lift points, or do you recommend other types of pads?"
Yeah, I mean, the foam blocks work. I mean, that's what they suggest. They're nice and soft and gentle on the jack points, but the problem is they're pretty darn thick. What you could do is you could cut it in half, like if you have the ability to do that. But I just have a hodgepodge of all these different jack pads. I'm looking at bringing some in from Germany from the same company that made those new ramps that I have from BOECK book that make all kinds of jack pads that we want to bring in possibly for our lifts. But Benpack sells some nifty ones, and but I don't know that any of the companies really sell them separately. I don't know how you really get them. But I have the ones I use the most are the ones that came with my twin bush lift. They're like 1.5 inches or 2 inches thick, but they're kind of wider. And then of course I use the pucks that I have from Smokin' GTS on Renlist. He made them for my GT3. So the GT3 and GT4 and M3 all take those same kind of pucks that work really well.
All right, we have some more BMW suggestions here. BMW douche is basically understood, says David J.
Yeah.
Bavarian homies.
Oh, I like that.
BMW enthusiasts.
Yeah, it's a little too. That's not abrasive enough for me.
Sounds like a name they give themselves.
Yeah, I like to just stick people. Just give them a little punch in the what. Just a little flick. Just enough to put a little sting on it.
All right. Our buddy Yoshi here chimes in with the super chat. What did you think of the weird column-filled $1 million house shared in the Obsessed Cars Facebook groups?
Oh my gosh, these people not. Did you see that and know immediately? I would think that's the dumbest house ever.
When I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's not gonna. That's not his
Everybody's like,
style.
"Oh my gosh, I would sell my kidney for." That's the freaking ugliest house I've ever seen in my life. It's ironic though that I haven't been searching for houses on purpose, but I'm like, let me just look at Zillow, and I found that house the night before, and I showed Michelle. I said, "Look at this freaking disaster." And then people, somebody saw it. It showed up on Gearhead Homes, and that the Facebook page they have, and then people are freaking out like they would. I guess I just have a higher level of snobbery to my existence than most people, but that frickin' house has more bolted on garbage. I've never seen so much drywall in my life. Like all these intricate little drywall nooks and crannies. Like what? Just make a frickin' straight wall, people. What's with all this stuff and walls? Like make it straight and don't paint accent walls. It's so easy. Make the wall straight and flat. Don't put fireplaces in. Don't put knick-knack niches. Don't put the TV on the freaking ceiling. You don't need all this crap. Just make the walls flat and straight. If you want to get crazy, spend some money and do some like wood on the walls, like real wood. But that costs a lot of money. Instead, this dude did, he's like, I'm a custom builder. And like he's, Michelle met him. Michelle went by there. Before
I saw her video.
I'm like, what is she doing? Why is she going there? I don't want anything to do with his house. The freaking garage sucks. It's a lot of space. There's a lot of concrete, but there's no style. There's so much. Like everything's it's just a bunch of junk. It's like a lot of really crappy stuff. Just a lot of it that ends up adding up to a lot of money. Guaranteed that guy spent way more than $1 million on that place. You have to build it. But man, is it freaking stupid. His rooms are all broken up, and then he spent all his money on his pool area, and then it has this crappy kitchen with all his 90s bull crap. So hideous. Gosh. I threw up in my mouth as soon as I saw it, and then I couldn't believe it. I just kept my mouth shut in the group. I'm not doing a good job now keeping my mouth shut, but in the Facebook area, I just kept my mouth shut. He's like, you freaking idiots. Do you not know me by now? Do you not know that this is the antithesis of anything that I would consider? You'd have to rip that thing down to the studs. I guarantee you everything's cheap. It probably has a $2,000 a month electric bill because it's garbage. It's freaking leaking air everywhere. Just has cheap 7-foot doors, and everything's hollow and junk. 3-inch baseboards and frickin' drywall nooks. You know the drywall guys that went there and said, "What is this moron doing? What in the world are you thinking?"
So there you go, Yoshi. You got your $10 worth.
It's a freaking disaster. Like what? Yeah. 9,000 square feet of conditioned space, and then you see the office above the garage. Oh my gosh, it's like freaking. And apparently the dude who owns it's only like a couple of years. Michelle said he was like in his 40s. He looked like. It looked like a freaking 80-year-old dude built that house. Just like one coffer is not enough. Let's do 3 coffers in the ceiling. That'll make it extra fancy. More drywall. Drywall square, drywall. Let's do, what's better than, it's like saying what's better than 1 mask, 2 masks. Well, why don't you do 3 or 4 or 7? Well, let's do 7 coffers. That's a great idea. Only let's do the crappiest lighting we can find from Home Depot. And let's put the wispy fans, the fans with like the little wicker fans everywhere. Yeah, that's a real classy move.
Maybe he's a drywall guy and he just had a lot left over. I'll put it in my house.
And all these little pieces, like he's been keeping scraps since 1987, and decided to just put all these scraps everywhere and just freaking drywall.
I'll use them.
Like there's one, like it's like there's this one nook. It's like drywall. It's like just make the wall flat.
Oh, good stuff. So no, Matt won't be buying the house.
What a hunk of crap. Well, I feel insulted that people would think that that's like, oh, Matt's gonna be packing his bags. Michelle better be ready. His mom is not gonna like this. And my mom saw it and said, "What are you freaking people nuts? No way would he do this. His house is hideous." I'm packing his bags to Slumville and with the Drywallville, we'll call it. Oh my gosh.
Oh, good stuff. All right, Jonathan Akira says, hello guys, from France. As an electronic musician, I wonder who makes the music for your videos. Is it stock music or someone from your team? It really feels the OG vibe.
I don't know. I don't know where they got that one.
So chime in there, Bryce, or whoever. Let's see here. Lots more comments on the fan. The fan is a popular thing.
Yeah. It's poo and fans. We're talking about poo and poo removal. And then poo, whatever you call it. They're talking about dumping enzymes.
Poo geyser.
In the
front yard. Oh, man.
Oh, what a disaster. Can't believe I have to dig another hole in another trench the size of the house out front.
BMW Brethren. Beamer Buds, BMW Egos, Bummer Boys, Beamer Boys. Lots of suggestions there. Is there a video coming of the GT4 tow hook and shift knob install?
Yes.
Nothing better than seeing Maddie's struggle/rant on the easy jobs.
Yep, we got one today. No rant. I was very calm, though. But doing it all wrong. I had to redo it 4 times. So, yeah, as usual.
Let's see. When is Mike coming to visit for the home garage upgrades? I'm interested in the process for cutting the concrete for the scissor lift.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun. I don't know. First of all, I got to order a lift, so I should probably get on that. I was kind of waiting to order the lift because I don't want to have the lift sitting there, if I can help it. Waiting for confirm the cabinets are in transit. So I would like to get the cabinets on the wall before I start doing all the stuff, because I'd like to have all the tools at least in the drawers and out of the way, so that we can utilize the tools and have a TV in there and stuff like that while we're working. It'd be kind of nice to do that. But this one isn't going to be like a 9-day transformation. It's going to be a little bit longer process because quite a bit of stuff going on there. The doors getting filled in and stuff like that soon. So I'm going to get all the ancillary stuff done and the cabinets installed, and then we'll have the garage doors come, and then so I'll have the garage doors, the lift. Of course, the AC is already in. The insulation will be done, and then Mike and I will do we'll have the painters come and paint. We'll be doing all the Cree lighting and all of that stuff. So we'll probably do lighting, flooring, lift, doors, all that stuff all at once, like in probably a month or 2, once I get everything lined up.
All right, when's the next wash and chat? And will it be at your house or OGHQ?
Yeah, it really can't be at the house yet because there's nothing to wash with there. It's till I get at least some cabinets, because everything's all in boxes. So I'll probably do one out here at HQ soon, getting all the cars cleaned up.
Do another live one, people like that on the weekend at night. Let's see. Brandon has a good point here in the chat. Whoever prompts a rant in the chat should get a prize each week. That's a good idea.
We'll give them from your corner pile of the tchotchkes. Yeah, you get something from Chris's pile.
I'll send you a bottle of hot sauce and a random pneumatic hose.
And a bunch of napkins, a bunch of Arby's napkins or something.
Honey baked yam napkins. Saving that for the truck right there.
Don't want to waste it.
Oh, man.
Gotta put it in the glove box. Open it up and it'll all come falling out, and you're just ramming them back in there. There's nothing grosser than a used old McDonald's napkin. Even if it isn't used, it seems like it's been used.
It still smells like cheeseburgers. Months later.
Like that salt, that French fry salt they have, yeah. Because you did palm, you palmed the top and bottom, and then all the others, and you drag your hand across it, so all of it gets a little bit of grease, a little bit of palm grease on there. Then you wipe the rest off on your steering wheel and the side of your seat. Yeah.
Let's see. Risky65 here has a little super chat, and he says, wait, where's this question? Oh, thoughts on laser jammers. What's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, in some states, you certainly go for it. You do AEI priority, which is technically a parking distance sensor that just so happens to sense laser. But that's pretty much the standard that you do when you complement that with supplemental radar detector, like a Escort Passport, custom install or something like that. Or what is it? The K40 is like the $10,000 one, something like that. The problem I have with doing laser jammers and things like that is I've got too many cars and I turn them over too often, and you need to really custom install that. And we don't really have much laser here, so it's really not super useful. But in certain areas where they're using it all the time, and if you keep your cars for a while, then yeah, I'd definitely head down that path.
All right, Sheldon wants to know, what's Matt's dilution ratio when it comes to brake buster?
I don't dilute it, just use it straight up. So I throw it in the foam cannon and then in my spray bottle and just use it as is.
What's the recommended cleaner to wipe ear sweat off of earphones?
Air, just air dry. Yeah.
Oh man,
it's normal breakdown.
All right, let's see. Reasonable Paul on Instagram says, just watched Mark and Jack's review for E92. With that being said, is the new M3 growing on you, or do you still think it looks like vomit?
No, that's the most vile thing ever. It's too big. It's too bulky. It's just freaking stupid. I'm sure it sounds like crap. So I didn't even go to look at is it in the configurator yet? I have no interest.
I don't know. I'll check in a second. Let's see. Chandler Ross wants to know, what are your thoughts on non-OEM premium floor mats? Places like Coco Mats and their custom to order stuff, or GG Bailey.
I did the what's that other company that I did? Lux or something like that. I did in the Corvette. It seemed okay. I don't know. I tend to like OE floor mats. They just so seem weird. Yeah, I don't really have much of a thought on that. Floor mats, the interiors are not really my thing.
All right, let's see here. Kurt on Facebook says, or asks, any chance of we getting more hat styles made, i.e. flat brim, mesh, snapback, etc.?
Yep. We're working on all the entire clothing line. Just got some ideas on some polos and sweatshirts, and we're launching new hats. We're going to be doing at least a new shirt every month, probably a new hat every other month. So yeah, we're working on that.
All right, here you go. You can build your own M3 here. That's the
thing is, 2021. It's just not good at all.
Yeah.
Yep, no interest.
All right, let's see here. C Snyder 88 on Instagram asks, is Swisstrax flooring a good option if you're going to be power washing in that garage/bay frequently?
Yeah.
Seems like everyone has a designated bay for washing and then move indoors over the Swisstrax.
Yeah, I like Swisstrax a lot in a wash bay, even more than I like it in a regular bay, because it's not slippery when wet. And the water runs and drains under it, and then all the funk kind of disappears underneath it, and you can kind of pop them up and spray it off, once every 6 months or so down the drain. But yeah, I think it's a really good solution for that.
All right, let's see. DG in Super Chat here. When are the 6-drawer Sabers in black coming back in stock? Very excited to see more of the Normie's house.
Yeah, I think I was talking with Avi there. I think they have containers coming. You're kind of in limbo here, because they've made a design change to them where they're a little bit higher quality, a little bit better welding. Of course, there's issues with getting things manufactured in China, getting it here in timely fashion without crazy duties and import taxes. And so they're going to have soft close and things like that, I think. They're due in a couple of months. I think he said mid to late March. So I think the smart thing to do is to email support@obsessedgarage.com and nail your spot down. We'll get an order in. I think that we can do that, where you prepay and wait for them, which kind of stinks to do, but things like that are so hard to get right now that I think you've got to exhibit a little bit of influence by getting things paid for up front, and just knowing that it might take 4 months to get stuff, because things manufactured all over the world seem to be hard to get at the moment.
Anything imported is becoming kind of hit and miss for us.
Yep.
That bearded veteran says, Matt, do you recommend a separate DI system for washing cars and boats if you have a whole house soft water system?
Yes, and the soft water system will support that really well, in that it's your mineral content in the water is knocked down quite a bit, and so your DI system will last a lot longer. Actually, I was just talking to a guy working. Kyle's got 100 projects, but I've got like two or three really big projects that I'm working on. And one of the suggestions was, in this big building we're doing, I think it's like 20,000 square feet. You really want to, you might as well do soft water in the whole facility, and then have soft water feed the DI tank, and then really in a system like that, a CR is not what we're doing. We're going to do some exchangeable type thing where you have a service come out and replace it, every so often.
All right, let's see. John Bartlett in the chat here says, Matt, when you were building CrossFit Dialed In, what barbells did you go with? I'm in the process of dialing in my home gym and ordered a few to see which one makes the cut.
We already had. I'd bought them from the other guy, but they're a bunch of just the Rogue basic. I think they were called I forget what the Rogue had like a basic bar. Before they had like 35 different bars. They had a basic barbell. But you'd probably do Rogue bars. Try not to do the ones with Cerakote because the Cerakoted bars don't spin very well. In a perfect world in the gym, you'd probably want to do a bunch of Penlay bars. They're much better bushing bars than the other. But in your garage, in your personal use, I would get the what did I just say? Crap. What was the company I just said?
Rogue?
Muscle Driver USA. Get the Penlay bar. Yeah, the Penlay bar's so good. It just has the knurling on the Penlay bar is pretty aggressive, but it sort of rips up your shins quite a bit. But the Rogue bars are nice, but they're not nearly as good as the Penlay stuff.
All right, Fish Sticks has a great question here for you. Speaking of glove boxes, what do you keep in yours?
Nothing. Generally a stripped down version of the manual, just because I don't want to keep it anywhere else. So I pull out all that other tchotchke crap that you think you need to have, like the card for the driver, roadside assistance, all these weird things that are in there, all those little marketing brochures and things like that. Pull all that out, just have the base manual. I have my insurance card. I generally have an iPhone cable, a lightning cable in there. And then I have my registration. Those are the only things I have in all of my glove boxes. That's it. And then a wheel key if it had to have a wheel key.
So no gloves in the glove compartment. I don't think anybody has gloves in there. Mike answered a question for us, our own Mike. Soundstripe is where we get our music from. So whoever asked that question. Let's see here. Question from Bryce. How do you know if the paint you're working on is soft or hard?
I mean, it's one of those things that you ask most experts in the field of paint correction. They kind of scoff a bit at the concept of soft or hard. If the paint scratches rather easily, but yet is still hard to correct out, then you generally know you have a really hard paint. If it scratches moderately and corrects moderately, then you generally have sort of paint that's pretty pretty medium. And if you have something soft, usually you can correct it out with a really mild polish, but then it scratches up when you're wiping the darn polish off. Black S 2000 that I had was soft as crap. You could barely breathe on the darn thing and it would scratch. So, but it's kind of counterintuitive in that sometimes really hard paint scratches more easily. It's just hard to correct out. So I don't even really go there very much. I just figure out what works. And so it's one of those things that you kind of say to sound like you know what you're talking about, but it really doesn't mean much.
All right, let's see. Henry wants to know, hey, Matt, what would you do if you could only do an O&R wash, but the car wash was dirtier than you would normally use an O&R wash for? So I guess you're stuck indoors somewhere.
Yeah, it's just lots and lots of towels. Yeah, and certainly don't revisit the bucket. You'd have 24 towels or so. Just do small areas. Use a pre-soak as well. So pre-soak it. That's that. It'd be really great if you could just blow it off with a pressure washer first, or a hose or something to get some of the stuff off, and then pull it in real fast. But if some of you guys are dealing in minus something degrees, you can't do that. You can only do that. You could swing that if it's 28 or 34 or something outside, but if it's 6 degrees, I think you can't really do that. So I think you just got to use a lot of towels and mix up a more concentrated version of pre-soak for it. I hate that. It's just so nasty, dealing with the towels, and you never really get into the wheel wells and stuff as well.
All right, our buddy Brian Deal out in California says the laser jammers are ALP.
ALP, okay.
ALP.
Yeah.
Okay. How about some non-snapback hats? Do we have any of those in the...
Yeah, we have the FlexFit stuff. We don't have any fitted hats, but we have the FlexFit hats. I've kind of gone away from them. It's just not as comfortable. But yeah, we have blue, black, gray, white, it's various, several different versions that are nice, really nice. They're actual true FlexFit hats from FlexFit USA or FlexFit whatever, Thailand or Taiwan or something like that.
Is there an OG wash process for bicycles? I've had several bikes at the local bike shop for service and cleaning, but had not considered best practices for washing.
Yeah, I don't really get too involved. I mean, bikes tend to come out pretty clean pretty easily. The hardest part is the chain. Oh, jeez.
Let me go back to this.
The house hasn't sold yet? I wonder why. Look at that. Look at the front. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. Look at
All I did was bring up the pictures. I just wanted to check it out again. Ooh, that couch looks good.
Oh my God! Look at
yeah,
see, look
that's
at
good.
And there's accent. Isn't that a blue accent inside of there, or is that just the light, or is that like baby powder blue accent
blue.
wall inside of the not wall?
Yeah, that's definitely blue. That's good.
Oh man! So bikes. I don't have much of a process. I probably should develop one, but I just foam it down, wipe it off real quickly, and then spray it off with my pressure washer.
I think that's in the video queue, actually, is a bike wash.
Yeah,
video.
yeah, it definitely is.
Obsessed Mobile Detailing says, you mentioned Benjamin Moore White Dove paint in one of the recent home videos. What finish is it?
It is satin. No, semi-gloss. Semi-gloss for the doors and the we did an eggshell on in our last house, which is also kind of nice. Which is one step above flat, or maybe 2 steps above. But yeah, I like it. I think it's good.
All right, let's see. Andy here in the chat says, shout out to Tommy at OG Support for helping me figure out my Swisstrax tile configuration. Order placed yesterday. Can't wait to get them installed.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, we've been killing it lately. So
yeah, Swisstrax is a popular thing.
Keep buying stuff from us, people. I love it. 26,000 today. We did 40,000 yesterday. This is great. Keep it rolling.
When does the Civic giveaway end? The end of March. So you still got an entire month.
Yeah.
So if you miss the Civic giveaway, somehow it's your own fault. Ryan, will there ever be an OG app? Would love to order stuff on an app on my phone eventually.
Man, yeah, we definitely will at some point. It'd be great to have X, inside the Hex, so have our podcast there, have shopping there, have other things there, other tchotchkes there. Would be really cool.
All right, let's see. Have you tested the new DA compounds from Rupes?
I have. Yeah, they're okay. I know a lot of people seem to like them, but I like my stuff. I like the Jescar Sonax stuff.
All right, let's see. Hey, Matt, I know you mentioned doing a stereo in the last M3 video, but what would you recommend to make the most of the stock audio? I listen to podcast, and an iPhone dongle makes them sound terrible.
Yeah, one thing that can really help with the stock system is to do the BAV sound, or Bavarian sound works. They have like a plug and play. There's a couple of companies that do that. They have like a plug and play kit where they at least upgrade the drivers. I should do that. I should reach out to them, see if they want to come and make a video together or something. But yeah, I mean the obvious thing to do would be to plug it in directly, right? Instead of doing some sort of Bluetooth type thing that connects and then connects to the USB. But there really isn't much you can do. I find that on BMWs, treble and bass are usually pretty flat, maybe a few notches down in treble, but really isn't much to do. And the other thing I generally have to do is shift the balance to the right a little bit to get the image away from, or at least get some sort of image rather than just having it on the little heavy on the left side where you're sitting.
All right, related to that, from Brad in the chat, Matt, have you looked into upgrading your Gen 1 to Sync 3? I just bought a 2014. My only complaint is the sync.
No, but that's Michelle's truck. She doesn't freaking care. But that would be a nice upgrade. I hadn't thought of doing that, but that's probably a smart thing to do. I mean, it's got 109,000 miles on it. She's fallen in love with Tesla, so I don't know how long the Raptor may become OG, the OG or company / family flex vehicle. Yeah, it kind of sits here, and it'd be nice if we do get the yarn building to get it, just have it sit here and get it out of my freaking driveway, and then she can drive the Tesla around. I think I'm going to place an order for a Plaid Plus, which will come later this year or early next year, and then she'll probably drive the Tesla most of the time. And then at some point when she has full autopilot, driving the kids to school will be kind of cool for her. She just turn on autopilot and let it take her there.
All right, Noah wants to know, is there any update on the 997 GT3 search?
Well, I haven't really found anything. It's a little premature for that. I mean, the Civic isn't even gone yet, and I'm not really ready for that unless I just find something perfect. I mean, I don't want to. People keep sending me .1s. I don't want a .1. I want a .2. Either GT3 or RS. And if I did a GT3, it would be for a giveaway. But I don't know. We'll see how. I want to see how the Civic does as well, because if the Civic doesn't at least break even, then how am I going to take care of a $200,000 car? Where are we at? We're 100,000 short.
Yeah, we're 105 to get us to break even.
It's not going to happen. Not looking good.
We still got over a month.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Sell lots of air fresheners. Keep buying the air freshener. A million of those. Let's see. Zach says, I did the sync upgrade on my Explorer Sport. It was super simple, and it's fantastic having Apple CarPlay and such.
Yeah.
So, all right, our good buddy Dr. Phil chimes in here. I can't go a week without hearing from him. What's the ETA on the Sub-Zero? Waiting for the My Neighborhood's Most Expensive Refrigerator installation video.
Yeah, I think it's like April 15th or from May through May 4th is when all the appliances are coming.
So spread it out. Are you going to wait and do them all at once? You going to do them as they come in?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess it depends on how much it costs me to have them deliver it. But the fridge is ready to go. It will be in a week or so when they come and do the plumbing for the ice maker. But I had the outlets put in, but the other stuff really isn't ready yet. I guess the ovens could go drop in, but we have waiting on cabinets and things like that for the other rooms.
All right, let's see. My buddy Chris Kim out there says RS 4.0 ?
Well, yeah, that's what I ultimately want, but we'll see.
Lots of people chiming in. They second and third the OG app. Would love to spend money from my phone.
Yeah, it's something that we'll have to develop someday. I think that's more of like a few years from now endeavor when we get our warehousing and situation figured out.
All right, let's see. David wants to know, do you think the used GT4 market will ever drop to around $60K?
Maybe if we hit a some sort of major downturn, which I think is realistic. But I don't know. GT cars, I think there's always going to be someone willing to pay for even a higher mileage one. People are going to be willing to pay a decent sum for those. There's only so many of them, and a lot of them get destroyed at the track. So I think they might get close to that, but it'd be pretty beat up version.
All right, James in the chat says, can you please explain your OEM Plus approach to modifying your cars?
Well, I like bolt-on stuff. I don't like things that have such huge processes that I can't really do. I like to start with a car that I already like, and I like the process of playing with different things to eventually make it worse and then try to fix that. So my philosophy generally is it needs to look stock-ish. So like for instance, the headlights on the M3 are like at the limit of what I'm willing to do. Of like, it looks it's like right on the edge of being kind of douchey aftermarket, but it's like right there, like right up against it. And then like wheels, like take a look at the GT3. I mean, most people don't even realize that those are aftermarket Vossen wheels on my GT3. And of course, the exhaust, I want the car to make more noise. But that's something you really can't see. And so when I'm doing interior modifications like the BMW, I'm doing performance seats. But I'm willing to go out on a limb a little more, so that a lot of people will do actual OEM plus stuff like BMW Performance or Porsche, performance stuff only. Porsche doesn't do a lot of that, but BMW does. I'm generally looking for something a little bit better, and with a little bit of like Dundon's a good example of something that makes a lot of sense to me. But that's my general philosophy. Is I want to start with a car that I like, and then I want to do things to it that I think either make it look better or perform better, or like lowering the car I think makes any car look better. But I also don't want to be putting wide body fenders and stuff. It's just not my style. Or wrapping cars and stuff like that, or painting things if I can help it. I generally don't go that far. Brakes, wheels, tires, exhaust, maybe a new shift knob is generally as far as I go.
All right, Ridiculous on Instagram says, Matt, do you have any opinions on Koshimi's glass cleaner? Super slick stuff.
I have it, but I didn't find it to be any better than visible glass.
All right, let's see here. Hey, Chris and Matt, this is William from North Carolina. William Wallace, I think is his name. I'm joining late. Matt may have already covered it, but has he shared any thoughts on Adam's new water spot remover? Well, we just discussed water spots earlier.
Yeah, I doubt it
Nothing
works.
works.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there's there.
If it was that simple, we
Sorry,
wouldn't
I
really
can't-
worry about coatings. So, yeah, I doubt it really works.
There you go. There it is. That's a nice color. That's good.
Maybe, I hope it does, then we'll buy it, but I doubt it. But it's something they needed to support their coating lines now. Everybody will buy it, just no one will use it. It's one of those things everybody buys once, puts it on a shelf, and then, oh, great, I got that water spot remover, and then I go out, and I'm like, that didn't work. That's me. I bought 9 of them, 10 of them. I got to have this. It's sitting in the cabinet. Oh, I need it. Oh, it doesn't work. Crap.
All right. Our buddy Brian, who's also a Sub-Zero connoisseur snob like you, says the double oven is 50 amps /220. Hopefully your existing conductor is sized appropriately.
Oh,
So,
shoot. Yeah.
make
Well,
sure.
it's easy to get to, so if we have
There
to,
you go.
if we have to run it, we can.
All right, let's see. I like Matt's take on modifying cars. I usually shy away from getting into anything internal with the engine, however.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the Civic is really the only time I've ever done anything like that.
It's a little easier to do that stuff
Yeah,
on older
intakes, things like the headers, maybe, or the kind of the furthest I go. I generally don't end up doing cams and but I'll do generally do an external ECU tune, like if it's a flash tune, and to err on the conservative side of things. But I'm not. Yeah, you're right. I'm not too into doing rebuilds and stuff.
This is a good comment from Bo earlier. There's no better material to clean those McDonald's hands than Alcantara.
Yes. It's got it pulls the grease right out of your hands. Yep.
Have to ask, like usual, I always love this one. Are you accepting mail-in raffle entries for the Civic?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We've gotten so many fewer this time. It's interesting. It's also kind of new, I guess.
It's the
but
douchiest thing to do. So you can do it, but then you're a freaking loser. Don't do that. It's freaking dumb. It's the stupidest thing ever. Whoever makes up these laws are morons. No, don't send it in. It's just a douche move. Obviously, the only reason I'm doing it is to try to get the freaking money back. It's to make a little bit of money on the car so I can do another one. Some loser try to get some grandma sending in a freaking envelope where they put some smiley faces on, think they're gonna win, and punch that lady in the throat.
And we've done a good job this time. We have some smaller entry-level things, like the $5 will get you entry.
Freaking $5.
Yeah.
You spend $1 on a stamp and an envelope. Just spend $4 more and get something better.
There you go.
Idiots.
CMAC wants to know, related to the Porsche question earlier, any updates on the E46 M3 search?
Yeah, haven't
Nothing
found
good there?
anything. Yeah, haven't found anything that. But I'm gonna get one.
All right, let's see. Has there been any thought about a possible obsessed detail business to obsess over customers' cars and get them dialed in?
There was at one point, but certainly not with me doing it. I have no interest in that. So yeah, no, we won't unless I'm really hard up. No, I will not be doing that. Dealing with that kind of thing is just not. It's very, very labor intensive and not scalable at all. You're capped. I mean, you guess you can bring in humans and bring in labor, but I don't want to be in the labor business. Just like I don't want to be in the garage install business. I want to be in the very scalable, product curation and retail type business is what I'm interested in.
All right, let's see. Michelle M. from Lady Lake is chiming in here. She says, the kids say to stop saying freaking.
Oh.
So you get in trouble.
Stop getting me fired up, people. Stop asking about weird drywall scam
Roman
houses.
Coliseums.
Yeah, coliseum of fake wood columns and drywall everywhere. Make your freaking walls flat, people. Flat. Hear that, Rai? Make your walls flat. I'm going to teach you. Don't be putting all kinds of nooks and crannies. Like, oh, I could store some stuff on there. That'd be great. Let's do it. Don't do it.
All right, there you go. Yeah, smiley faces on the envelope do get you disqualified according to the rules, so be careful. When
No,
you,
put the smiley faces on there.
Put lots of smiley faces
punt
on.
that right in the trash and the middle fingers up. It's going in there.
Romano is checking in from Athens, Greece. Says, good to be joining the live show. It's in the evening there, so thanks. That's cool.
There's got to be a way where we can render all mail-in entries. Like, no matter what you do, it's like there's no way it can work. Like, if you don't cross your T fully, or just make it like 37 lines of legal jargon that makes it so that pretty much they're infinitely disqualified.
Some of them you're required to write a paragraph about how this would change your life or something like that.
Which, of course, no one. Oh yeah, that's what we need to do.
Yeah, so we'll do that on the next one.
Yeah, then no one would ever do it
recently,
because they're lazy losers.
Here's a good point here. Over under of how many cotton candy lollipops it takes to build a normie garage. A lot.
So good.
I saw
so
those
good.
Home Depot receipts.
I almost bought one last night. It was great. I went into Home Depot and no mask. Like 50% of the people there, I'm like, it's happening. Finally. Going back to freaking normal. It's gonna be great. But I went to Home Depot, got me, and I got me some like trim rings and stuff like that. I was in and out in 2 seconds. There's no reason to freaking wear a stupid mask. And so I go in there and got my stuff, and I almost bought like 9 lollipops, and I put them all back. Like putting them all back in the thing.
You got to really make an effort to put them back.
Yeah. I got like a banana split one, a couple of cotton candies, some of the watermelon. Watermelon has a little pink top and the and the red bottom. Yeah, it's looking delicious. And I'm like, no, I can't do this. And I putting them all back on.
Walk of shame, sticking that.
I'm looking around. It's like, anybody come and yell at me for not having my mask on when I'm 90 feet away from everybody?
Do you have any of those flavors you don't like? Or if you grabbed them at random, you'd be fine?
No. I
good.
can't do that. No, I don't want random. What happens if you get like a root beer one or something gross?
No. I'm not up to date on all the flavors of that one.
No, there's some flavor. Like, I don't want some peach vomit or something like that.
Peach vomit. Oh, man. All right, we got a super chat here. I am Daniel Max. No question. Just want to support Texan here, and watching OG videos on my phone while having no heat or electricity got me through it. Thank you, gents.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's cool. Hope you got that back by now.
That was probably kind of fun for people to like survive during the, because in Texas and Florida, well, Texas really doesn't, especially most of Texas doesn't really get hit by hurricanes or anything. So they just have relatively nice weather, and then the whole gosh darn state fell apart for a couple of days. But it's kind of nice to sit at home and have no heat and 6-degree weather. That's horrible.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, man.
Let's see. Michelle M. chiming in again. Did you talk about that house? Yes, Michelle. That got him all fired up. So we're not going to talk about that again. Huge rant. Yes. When did frick become a bad word? That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Michelle says in our family it is a bad word.
Oh, Is she driving and following up with this stuff?
She's in the Tesla. It's on autopilot. She doesn't.
Yeah. Texting and driving.
Good stuff. Can't wait. More mass talk. Okay, here we go from Dan. How's the home networking going? I feel like I didn't see that part of the moving vlog. Still using the Dream Machine? Question mark.
I need to. I'm going to have to get the wires run and stuff like that. Call the company. Of course, they didn't call me back. But I'm going to have to because the little Comcast modem doesn't get out to the garage. Doesn't make it there.
All right, let's see. Guy B32 says he's looking at houses in Florida. It's really difficult to find the right home.
Yep.
Because of all the bad choices the homeowners make when they work on their homes.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Is building the way to go? Yeah, because then you can make your own bad choices.
Yeah, the problem is building right now is a really difficult thing. Everybody's working, no one's available, and lumber is insanely inflated, and I think that there's going to be a boom time to come back and to buy it when nobody else wants to build. But right now, it's hard to get anything done, especially in Florida. I mean, all the subs are all overbooked and months behind, and and that's when the work gets kind of shoddy when they're just cranking through stuff. So that's why I'm kind of glad to sit tight for a while, So for as long as it takes to, and then maybe come in swooping in and do it right for once in my life instead of buying houses with poop piled up in the front yard.
Zshan wants to know, what's a good first luxury watch? Matt, I need your OCD.
I think a Tag. That was my first watch. I think I bought was like a $1,800 Tag. It was a nice watch, something like that. And then, so I think that would be probably where I would go. Or is it? I think it's actually pronounced Tog. I'm not sure.
Tog.
I might be making that up. But that Tag would be the way to go, and then then you can get like an Omega or Rolex or something like that afterward.
All right. Any plans to do Tesla solar panels or Tesla? What's it called? A Powerwall?
Not in this house, but yeah, in the future, I'd love to do. I'd love to do the Tesla shingles. The whole roof. That'd be awesome on the house I build.
Which pressure washer setup are you going to be putting in the new garage? Alfredo wants to know.
1322. Custom install.
Just like you can buy in the store.
Yep.
Let's see. Zach says, my wife and I are moving to Florida later this year. It is so difficult to find houses down there that have what I would consider to be an actual garage.
Yeah, there aren't many of them. Everybody has a 2-car garage with their cars parked outside, and it's filled with garbage. Like, weird fake poinsettia plants, and kids' bikes from when they were 2, and now they're 32, stacked to the ceiling just in case. And they decide to clean it out, and they make like one path so they can get to the garbage can, and then that fills up with garbage. That's people. That's the way they do it.
Let's see. We got a couple of watch suggestions here in the chat. Tudor is a great brand. If you aren't a brand snob, get a Grand Seiko. Best value for the money.
Yeah.
Already have a Tudor, blah, blah, blah. Breitling. Is that how you pronounce that? That's what our buddy Brian says.
I don't like... Breitling are a little too flashy for my style. That's why I always gravitated toward Omega. There's so much... I guess, more boring. Breitlings always look cooler, but I like the blandness of the Omega stuff. I have an Omega Seamaster if you want to buy it from me. I haven't worn that thing in 2 years. I paid a freaking crap ton of money for it. It's worth nothing.
That's good. So I'll give you nothing for it. You'll be all right. Somebody's going to email, so yes, I guess it's for sale.
Not really. I mean,
No?
it's not. It's worth more to me to keep it. And I guess not if it's just sitting in a drawer. I don't even know where it is. I think it might be in my safe.
Probably in your garage or the rest of the crap you don't use.
I don't have stuff that I don't use. I threw it all away. Michelle's really struggling with she's like, well, where is this? I'm like, threw that away. Where is that? Nope, threw that away.
Probably a Ted's
She's like,
house.
where's my mixer? Threw that away. Oh boy.
Let's see. We need to name the poop geyser at Maddie's house, like Old Faithful, but way worse.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, David. Breitling Navitimer, the Brown Gusher. There you go. Omega Speedmaster for watches. We're going back and forth between poop geyser names and watches. Oh, man. Watching from Switzerland. Is Joseph hoping to buy the advanced microfiber package 3.0 soon for my new car? Keep up the great work, guys.
Nice.
Excellent. Michelle says sell it. She wants you to sell the watch.
Yeah, but I paid a lot of money for it, and it'll sell it for like $3,000 or $4,000. That's nuts. If I'm lucky. I'd bought the wrong watch. I bought it on Rolex at the same price. It'd be worth 3 times more. Yeah, if I would have bought a Rolex Daytona for $15,000, it'd be worth $45,000. But no, I always have to buy the wrong frickin' stuff. So I bought it for $12,000 or $13,000 and sell it for $2,000. Welcome to my world.
Let's see. Sam here, he's doing a little advertising for us in the chat. He says, just want to say that if anyone is on the fence about becoming an Inside the Hex member, do it. I've been a little over a month and I really enjoy it. Plus, it gets you Civic entries. That's true.
Yeah.
Jason Mala says, as for your watch, pretend it's a sunk cost like Civic wheels. There you go. It's Mario Dude has a super chat here for us. Will the press-all labels be available in different colors? I have version 2 and version 3 bottles still working perfectly, never going back to a cheap sprayer again.
Yep. We'll be doing all kinds of colors.
Lots of different colors.
Yeah.
Why don't you keep more cars at OGHQ? Save room at home.
Well, I've got as many as will fit here right now. 2 of them. I mean, I can keep them in the parking lot, but I don't want to do that. So hopefully the yarn building will allow me to fit some more cars.
All right, Bronco says, just order the Koshimi starter bundle. Super excited. Any tips or advice?
No, not really. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, if you do the the soap, I like to use use at least 100 milliliters and 750 milliliters total. The Ulex stuff, make sure you're well ventilated so you don't die. But man, that stuff rips out the adhesive.
It's potent.
Yeah, don't wash the towels together first couple of times or ever. And then nothing else. The FU just kind of spritz on your carpet if you ever get some cheeseburger funk in there, and it'll pull it out.
There you go. Michelle is on fire today in the chat. When it comes to your watch, I would have died. Glad you never told me how much it cost.
Oh, I'm sure I did.
Any updates on Ego Blower? Yep, Jeremy, we talked about that earlier. We're working on it. We got some paperwork going back and forth to get everything lined up, and hopefully soon. I brought this in here. Show here. So we're going to be doing some polos soon, right? That's the plan. This
I never really loved the last set of polos that I had. So we got 3 different Nike variants that I kind of like.
Yeah, this is let's see, Nike Golf Tour Performance dry fit. I do like that one. I like that, whatever that's called, texture of it.
Yeah, that's your dad style right there for sure. Yeah.
Cheeseburger Funk, yes. Do you have any thoughts on Polka Premium brand? What's that?
They make a lot of like accessory stuff for the walls and things like that. I haven't really seen anything that I want. They've reached out several times, but they make some pretty interesting stuff. But nothing I really wanted.
All right, which do you prefer, Eden or Bliss?
Eden.
That's the fruitier one?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you saying there?
It's just the
less manly version.
Yeah. Brian Cap says, would you ever consider, in this house or future house, 4-post lift to store more vehicles in there?
No, I hate 4-posts. They take up so much space. I think if you have anything under 2,000 square feet, having a 4-post, it's so much room wasted. Yeah, you pick up an extra spot for the car, but then you can't do anything in your garage. I just don't like 4-posts. You can't really do much on them. You could put the you certainly can't detail on them; they're too big. But I mean, I guess you can put the center jacks and do some work, but not a lot. Just clunky.
All right, let's see. We have a super chat here from Martin, Alligator Window Tent. Says, look into Oris. Fantastic timepiece for 2K. So there you go. Another suggestion for you watch people. Where'd that one go? Oh, yeah. Timothy Young wants to know, is Matt still planning on doing the Wash and Drive series?
Yes. We just need to get our wash part figured out. So, yeah, we're already acquiring equipment for that, starting to slowly piece together our gimbal stuff and whatever that fancy arm thing we bought. So we're starting to assemble our gear to make it like super legit.
David says, give me some monochromatic polos, then I can be a semi-cool dad. We'll work on that. Fish Sticks, you should do a Milwaukee collaboration for an OG jacket.
Yeah. Get one of those like heated ones,
yeah,
a little battery in there. Yeah. Get you warm and snuggly.
See?
Yeah.
Need those in Texas when it snows. What do you think about Omni Wall for storage?
No. God, no.
Uh-oh.
No. Absolutely not. Don't be freaking doing stuff, slat wall and all that bull crap on your walls. There's nothing that needs to be on your walls like that. Throw that junk away. Don't do it.
Let me go back
to
this real quick here.
Don't even look at it.
What if you have this house? Then would you put Omni Wall storage?
Yeah, see, that's an Omni Wall house right there. You have Omni Wall everywhere. All of your drywall nooks and crannies with the accent. Mm-hmm. And you make sure you get like the bright blue or bright red Omni Wall stuff. Mm-hmm. No.
Oh, what is that? Oh, it's our RV storage?
Yeah. He paid for all that concrete. And it's...
Oh. There you go. There's some storage.
Nice and organized. There's your pegboard.
Yep.
Pegboard in the house. Yeah. There's your homemade storage racks, on the 2x4 storage racks. All the closets have your nice wire in them. Yep, real classy.
Made.
Lots of pine cabinets. Some
Couple
Home Depot
motorcycles.
grade right off the shelf pine
Mhm.
cabinets. And then enough overdone stuff to choke a hippo.
Is that kind of an indoor pool?
No.
No? That was just under. I see.
Yeah. Under
Interesting.
tchotchkes.
That's an interesting shaped pool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
there
there's
you
the
go.
columns.
Then you want tile and columns. Yeah, lots of tile, too.
Mm.
Tile countertops all over the place. That's what you need. Little 2x2 inch tiles. It always looks for a classy setup. We had that on the on the patio of my last house. Oh my gosh, I just wanted to rip that out immediately. Yep.
There you go. It's still available in case you change your
See,
mind.
look, there's what's better than one
Backer.
coffer? 7 coffers. Oh my gosh! I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be real good. Let's get us. Make sure you get the brass rings around the recessed lighting. That makes it look a little bit fancier.
Oh, that's a fancy stove.
Yeah.
Grill top there. Nice.
But isn't that a drywall surround there? Isn't that drywall? Let's make us a hood, and we'll put a TV above it.
Ooh.
Well, TV is at 19 feet high, so you have to, and then we don't know anything about TV, so let's make sure we get the crappiest thing we can find, and then let's put some drywall around it. That'll be what we need. Some more drywall
He's definitely in the drywall.
and some
business.
tile. We need to put some tile and some drywall. Tile everywhere. Raised tile, little tile tchotchkes, tiles, insignias. I'll guarantee there's a family crest in 9 different places in that house. I'd have to spend like a small fortune just to remove all the family crests from all the little tile crests that are all over the place.
Oh, good stuff. So thanks, Yoshi, again for bringing that up. Epiphany Detailing. I got my 5-liter GSF in. Do you plan to pour from that container, or what do you have a smaller bottle to pour from?
I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I have to figure out pour from that into the smaller bottle, the regular GSF bottle. But yeah, I won't be pouring from that in my regular use.
Ben wants to know, are Swisstrax slippery, or do they get slippery when washing?
No, they really don't. Yeah, not very slick. I'm sure some of the flat tiles, which I'd never do, will get slick, but not the rib tracks.
All right, so there we go. I appreciate everybody.
Yeah, I'm
It's about
checked
that
out.
time.
I'm looking around the room.
Yeah, you're zoned out, and
Yeah.
I can't. No more talking about this house. We use words you're not supposed to use.
Is Matt moving in there next week? Man, this place is great. We could do slat wall everywhere. I could buy like freaking 10,000 square feet of slat wall and put it everywhere. You can hang stuff, hang all kinds of stuff. Be awesome.
All right, so let's see here. What do we have coming up next week? You got an alignment at PSI. What's the alignment for? The Civic?
Yep.
All right. More stuff coming to the house, and then we'll be back here on Friday again. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in for the questions. We
Yeah,
appreciate
it's the Hex Vlogs. I got myself a gimbal and trying to shoot at 4K 24 frames a second on the little Sony for that. See if I can smooth it out a little bit. The only problem is, like, I'm looking at the camera, the thing's going, and like it's like on the side of my face is on the thing that the camera is moving around. So it's gonna take me a little while to get it figured out, but we're playing with it. Anyway,
There you
that's
go.
what I got.
All
See
right.
you later.
See you guys.
My legs are so sore. We had to do
Did you go to the gym yesterday?
1,000,000 squats.